National Library. The National Library is the apex library in the library system of any country. It is usually created afresh or entrusted the responsibility of National Library by the constitutional provision of the country. The National Library of any country is the custodian of the intellectual heritage of the country. The intellectual heritage is the total information and knowledge wealth produced within the nation, anywhere written by the nations and written by anyone on the particular nation. For example, the National Library of India, Kolkata, has the responsibility to preserve the written and published material within India, published by the Indian nationals anywhere in the world and published by anyone about India. Definition: S.R. Ranganathan defines the National Library as the library having the duty of collecting and preserving for posterity the literary products of that country. It is the central station for assembling and dissemination through energy. Further, the UNESCO defines the National Library as libraries which, irrespective of their title, are responsible for acquiring and preserving copies of all significant publication published in a country and functioning as the deposit library, either by law or under other arrangements. Objectives: the main objectives of the National Library is procure all the library outputs of that nation by the legal provision of the nation or other arrangements, acquire foreign literatures about that nation, preserve the literary wealth of that nation for posterity, disseminate, procure, and preserve information through different services and publications, maintain the national bibliography and publish it, coordinate with other libraries of the country to develop national library system. Functions: the comprehensive function of the National Library differs from country to country, but minimum function set by UNESCO's General Conference 1970s are as follows: produce a national bibliography, hold and keep up to date a large and representative collection of foreign literature, including books about the country, act as a national bibliographic center, compile union catalog, publish the retrospective national bibliography. The UNESCO conference has recommended that the libraries which may call national but whose functions do not correspond to the above definitions should not be placed in the National Library category. Example of few national libraries of the world are the National Library of India, Kolkata. It was given the status of the National Library of India with the enactment of Empirical Library, the change name, that's Empirical Library Act 1948, and opened for public as the National Library of India on 1st of February 1953. The British National Library is also known as British Museum Library, London, UK, was established the Act of British Parliament in 1970. The United States of America has not designated any libraries as National Library of USA by law, but the Library of Congress, Washington DC, is executing all the functions of the National Libraries of the USA. Likewise, one can find about the National Library of any nation from reference sources of on internet.